All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. It has been a long 3 week hiatus. That's my bad. That's my bad. Okay. I'm sorry, man. I just sometimes I fall asleep and shit, and it's not on purpose. I'm just old. Okay. So, but whatever, man. We're back. Okay, we're back. This is Total Speculation, that one NFL show on that one NFL channel on YouTube. I'm that one NFL guy. With me, you already know, we got Knight, our very own McLovin. One word, no spaces. And it's been a long 3 weeks, but rookie mini camps have kicked off. All right. We are inching closer to the season. And speaking of, before we really get into the show, I don't have a bullet point for anything or anything like this, but I just thought about it. Tonight, did you know that Jarvis Landry is trying out for the Jaguars? And he was at rookie minicamp. Old vet, old Jarvis, 30-something years old, 32, trying out with the young Bucks. So we'll see how that goes. He had good things to say about Brian Thomas Jr., but yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's just get straight into it. We got a bunch of signings and even a trade to include here, but we're going to kick it off with the Jaguars. All right. We released Zay Jones, which makes sense after signing or drafting Brian Thomas Jr. Zay is basically your fourth with a $10 million cap hit. Jags save $4.2 million, I believe, maybe just $4 million. I know it's four something. By cutting him, which really isn't that much. And honestly, Mike Dempsey on the radio talked about it. I didn't really think about this. At first, I thought it made sense, but Mike Dempsey was like, why didn't they just wait till training camp? Just to make sure nobody got hurt or anything. And you could have cut him right before the season started and took saved the same amount of money, basically, but had that insurance in case somebody did go down, which would have made sense. Maybe they were doing him a favor because obviously
Jarvis now.
Well, Jarvis, I don't know. Jarvis is a long shot. I don't even consider him when I think about the depth chart. I really just feel like he's just a guy that knows somebody, that's friends with somebody. So that's why they brought him in. He does the same thing as Christian Kirk. So it really just doesn't work out. The only way he makes the team is if they cut Parker Washington, which could be the case. But I think Parker Washington could be cut and Jarvis Landry could not be on the team. So, yeah, I think that's a long shot. But with Zay Jones, he did have some value. Now, I will say he visited with the Chiefs, Titans, Cardinals, and the Cowboys. And I am going to be honest with you. When I saw him visiting the Chiefs, I thought, this is not good. I know that somehow, some way, this guy's going to bite us in the ass in the worst possible moment. But luckily, he did not sign it with the Chiefs or the Titans. So ends up going to the Cardinals for $4.25 million. Obviously, also the Jaguars drafting Cam Little, the kicker. We signed Joel Sly earlier in the offseason. We end up cutting him, and he immediately signs with the Patriots. He ended up, I looked it up, he made $25,000 with the Jaguars, and he didn't do anything. We just signed him and cut him. Didn't even come to training camp. Just hey, we just want a verbal commitment that you will come to training camp. And he got $25,000.
Hey, 25 for a yes, baby. That's how you do it.
And then he still got a job because he signed with the Patriots.
Hell yeah, my man's living right.
I thought that was really noteworthy. And some of you might be wondering, why the hell is this guy starting off the show talking about Zay Jones and Joey Sly? Let me tell you why, because I'm a Jaguars fan and this is my fucking show. All right. So I get to do whatever stupid shit I want to do. Okay. And that's how we're kicking it off. All right. Now, another one we're going to kick it off with that you might raise your eyebrow. Okay. The Rams trade Ben Skowronek. All right. The wide receiver, the little skinny white boy. I think he was number 11 or something.
Sure.
To the Texans with a 7th round pick for the Texans, 6th round pick. Now, you might be wondering, why are we even talking about this? And listen, when I first saw this trade, I wondered to myself, why did the Texans just trade a draft pick for this guy? And I had to look it up. And apparently, this guy is a great special teams gunner. And that just pisses me off. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you because the Texans just keep making good moves. All right. And now they got this ace of a gunner coming in my division for nothing. just pisses me off. Just pisses me off. But no, I just thought it was noteworthy. I just could not believe that they got anything for this guy. But as it turns out, he is one of the best gunners in the league. So bummer for the Jags there. All right, let's just run through these signings. And if you have anything to say, just chime in tonight. All right, we got Christian Barmore of the Patriots re-signing with the Patriots, 4-year, $92 million, $41.8 million guaranteed extension. The defensive tackles have been getting paid this offseason. Barmore is a really good player, but I don't know if he's like, this puts him like, I feel like top, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I'm not even going to guess, but I feel like he got a little bit more than what he was worth, to be honest with you. I mean, that's how free agency goes. All right. But he is a good player. So Patriots, they have no offense whatsoever, but they do got a couple of people on defense. Travis Kelce also got a contract extension since we've been gone. 2 years, $34 million, $17 million fully guaranteed. When I look at that, I just think that is disgusting. Like Travis Kelce getting paid less than $20 million a year. I don't give a shit that this guy plays tight end. I know where the tight end market is. There are certain people that should just be exceptions to the rule. I mean, it's almost criminal to have this guy out there for less than $20 million. This guy gets 10 targets a game, man. This guy's like half your offense. Yeah, he's the number one target in at least 50% of the NFL teams. I mean, I don't understand. I guess congratulations to the Chiefs. I'm not even going to say congratulations to Travis Kelce. To be honest with you, for that kind of money, you might as well just retire and work for Taylor Swift, your girlfriend, okay? Because goddamn, they are fucking you, my friend. If there has ever been a situation where you're like, bro, you need to ask for more. This is that. Dude, how much do you think Travis Kelce could get on the open market? I don't give a shit what the tight end numbers are. Like, on the open market, dude, I just saw Ridley get like $23 million a year. You're going to tell me Travis Kelce isn't worth 25?
No, I completely agree with you. I just think it's because of all the other monies that he brings in from sponsorships and his show. Like, I think that's why he's not really stressed about it or worried about it, is because he gave his team a hometown discount, like hard, obviously, like a 50% off type of hard.
Yeah, I'd say
this dude's throwing coupons out left and right. But yeah, I mean, Travis, if he got Justin money, it wouldn't be surprising. But I think he gave him a hometown discount because he's so wealthy, because he can afford it. He's not just like your average tight end, you know what I mean? That doesn't do anything.
He's never broke $20 million a year, which I feel like it's just nuts. He's been the top paid tight end. It's just that tight ends aren't paid like receivers are. But you look at what he does, and it's like, dude.
Yeah, no,
I'm serious.
I'm sorry. After, what was it? Who the heck the Browns get? After seeing Judy's contract, I'm like,
right.
What? This guy produces nothing. He gets millions, and then he's in the same ballpark, even somewhat. That's disgusting to me.
Yeah, no, I think he might make more. I don't know. I have to check on it, but it's pretty crazy. But let's move on. All right, Michael Gallup, 1 year, $3 million contract with the Raiders. Kind of makes sense. I mean, he's really just hasn't been the same since that injury. I mean, honestly, he hasn't even come close to 1,000. I remember watching one game where he got so many targets, dude, and he just either dropped it or just no connection. Or I understand why he's only got $3 million, because I just don't see it with him anymore. But then we also got another guy that's kind of, I don't want to be a dick, but kind of washed up at this point. I mean, DJ Chark signs with the Chargers, 1 year, $5 million. I will say, okay, if there's a spot you should go to try to revive your career right now, it is the Los Angeles Chargers, because they have no wide receivers and a great quarterback. So if you are a no-name receiver, if you are somebody that is just really underperformed, you should definitely try to get on the Chargers, because you got an opportunity there. Rashad Bateman got a 2-year extension with a max value of $16.75 million over the next 3 years, including the last year of that deal. So not really big money, but hey, at least a little bit of security there for you. Bills on the move the last 3 weeks. They signed Chase Claypool, who even with the Bills wide receiver core where it's at, he probably will not be a starter. They also signed MVS, who I would imagine probably takes more snaps than Chase Claypool at this point, because obviously his career is just downhill. I don't know if you saw the stat, but like the Bears basically like were like 8-1 once they like stopped playing with him, or like some crazy thing like that. Once they put him on the practice squad and just gave up on him, that was when they started winning games last season. So I just found that hilarious. And then also Dwan Smoot, Jacksonville Jaguar defensive end, edge rush, can play the inside. He can do a little bit of everything. He also signed with the Bills. That's a good pickup for them there. He's obviously came back off an injury last year, so he's kind of slow in his return, but I could definitely see him having a good year. He's a great player for us most of the years that at one point he was our leading sack guy. So Dwan Smoot, solid player there. Bud Dupree signs with the Chargers, 1 year, $3 million there. Another one we've been talking about for a while that finally lands, Odell Beckham Jr. signing with the Dolphins for a contract, a 1 year, up to $8.25 million. I think that's a great spot for him, honestly. Like if you're looking to revive your career and you're Odell Beckham Jr., being that third guy with Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and then you got Mike McDaniels as your play caller, I think that's like a match made in heaven for him. We'll see what he actually does. If he doesn't make this work, because obviously he had a disappointing year last year in Baltimore. If he doesn't make this work, then I think it's that time. But I could definitely see him not 1,000 yards, because you only got so many footballs to go around, but I could see him being like a 15 yards a catch kind of player, getting close like 800, 900 yards. I could see it, honestly.
I mean, that's definitely best case scenario yardage wise. I want to say he's going to be more of a touchdown guy. Like I can put him at like 550 and 6 tutties. You know what I mean? Like 6 is more than I feel like most of us would.
550, 17 games. I got to give him more than that.
We have 2 better receivers. Like how often are you going to see the worst guy open? Come on now.
I just still feel like he's going to get more than that. I mean, with those guys, they're going to take away all that coverage, man. I really feel that way, but we'll see how it goes.
He's not running away from anybody anymore. He has like 0 separation, dude. Like he's not himself. It's not the old.
Hey, sometimes you need a year to get back from the injury. All right.
Nah, he hasn't looked good the last 2 times. I mean, I understand the Rams was like the last time he looked relevant, but like I don't know. It didn't look good at all, man. It looked like he hit the wall of like age, and I think he's done.
We'll see. Another guy that's up there in years, but he's still Mr. Reliable. Tyler Boyd signs a 1 year, $4.5 million deal with the Titans. This is interesting to me as a Jaguars fan, because with him signing there, they now have Hopkins, Ridley, Tyler Boyd, and that pushes Treylon Burks down to that 4th receiver. That was a first-round pick for them just a couple of years ago. So that is kind of wild to me, honestly, that he got pushed down that far that quick. But Tyler Boyd, I feel like this was a mistake on his part. They said that he interviewed with the Chargers too. I'm like, you definitely should have went to the Chargers, bud.
I mean, he did it because the OC got hired as the.
I know, but come on, man. You're with Levis, and then on top of that, you got got Hopkins and Ridley there, so you're crowded with a not talented quarterback.
Yeah, but you don't have to do as much to keep your job for the following year, because you already have a rapport with the coach, and if you have to impress a new coach.
Yeah, but you only signed a 1 year deal.
I know, but if you have to impress a new coaching staff, you at least, you know what I mean, that's harder to do than like if you do it a little bit less with the Titans, it'll be more forgivable. They'll give him more likely to give him another 1 year deal. Whereas like the Chargers, if he didn't do that good, he's probably gone off every roster basically forever.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. Another guy that actually probably should be off of rosters forever, Allen Robinson, somehow getting another contract. 1 year deal with the Giants. Listen,
that sucks. I loved him, man. He was like,
I did too, man. I mean,
prime, dude, he was awesome.
He was his prime, the 50-50 ball. He might have been top 3 in the league on the 50-50 ball. Absolutely. Like his time with the Jaguars and early with the Bears, like dude was a 50-50 monster. And honestly, he was I was so pissed when they let him go in Jacksonville, because I loved him, man, honestly. But he has fallen off like hard and immediately. It happened so fast. Went from like a 1,400-yard receiver to like a 700-yard receiver to like a 300-yard receiver. Like happened so quick, dude. But gets another 1 year deal with the Giants. Wish you well, my friend. I don't know how many more of those you're going to get. So enjoy your time while you can. Malik Neighbors there takes a little pressure off you. They already have a couple other guys that I feel like he's got to be the fifth receiver. I don't even know. They didn't even say how much he got paid. I'm going to assume it's like a minimum because I don't know who's paying him anything. Raiders signed Andres Pete. Used to be the Saints tackle. Probably will start for them, but it's kind of interesting that you get a starter this late in the game like that. But we'll see. Also, Anton Winfield Jr. of the Bucks, who was on the franchise tag, gets a 4-year, $94 million contract, $45 million guaranteed, the largest safety deal in NFL history. Okay, that's the first time it's been pushed in a while. So congratulations to him. And it's funny because Jason Light, their GM, was on McAfee like a feud, like probably like 4 or 5 days before that, and he was like, I'm letting y'all know right now, he will probably be the highest paid safety in NFL history. He's a potential Hall of Famer. They spoke glowingly of him, and they didn't care about ruining the contract negotiations. They just did it, and then they got the deal done. So good for them. And he basically said it was getting done because he was like, Jason was like, I'm going on vacation soon, and this needs to be done before that. So expect it to be done soon. So it must have been like inches from being done when he said something.
I'm not thinking about this shit in Cabo.
Right. He's like, I am not letting any drama happen while I'm on vacation because I'm not stopping vacation.
I'm trying to do cocaine like a real CEO, damn it.
Right. And then the biggest contract, y'all, the biggest contract of the time we were gone. And we already told y'all it was coming, okay? The Detroit Lions were handing out the bag this offseason to everybody in their freaking locker room. And you know who they gave it to? They gave it to their leader. They gave it to a guy that the Rams kicked to the curb. They didn't want him anymore, but he earned his, man. Jared Goff, 4 years, $212 million, $170 million guaranteed, makes him the second highest paid quarterback in the league behind Joe Burrow. Now, listen, we're going to have to sit and talk about this one for a minute, okay? Because I've heard people online bitching. I've heard people saying, what are the Lions doing? Honestly, if you feel that way, I really don't know what to say to you. You're probably not watching the Lions games as of late because, listen, as a Jaguars fan, I'll tell you right now, if Trevor Lawrence was playing at the level that Jared Goff is playing at right now, people would have him as a top 5 quarterback. I'm dead ass. I really feel that way because Jared Goff, people shrug him off because it's Jared Goff, because the Rams didn't want him. But I'm telling you, the man revived his career. Like, he looks phenomenal out there. He plays playoff football. Like, that's a guy you can win a Super Bowl with. And I truly believe that he deserves that. And nobody's taking that Detroit Lions job from him. When they first traded him over there, I thought there was a strong chance that he would be a bridge quarterback to them eventually getting another quarterback in the draft. But I'm telling you right now, Jared Goff is here to stay. Jared Goff was a top 10 quarterback last year. We'll see what this year brings, but my man has weapons, okay? And when he has weapons, and that offensive line is beast, and that run game hits it's got force, and it works, okay? So all he's got to do is manage that game, and he looks great doing it. I mean, you got to pay guys when they look great doing their job. And I'm sorry, if you don't think that he deserves that contract, you're probably not watching Detroit Lions football right now because my man is efficient, okay? And that's all you can ask for. All right, he's not flashy. He's not Mike Vick. He's not Lamar Jackson, but he's very Joe Burrow-esque, okay? I mean, he's got a lot of Joe Burrow qualities with him as far as the way he plays football. And I think that if you don't believe Jared Goff deserves that contract, then you really don't know what you're talking about. And you don't know how hard it is to find good quarterback play in this fucking league. Because if you don't pay Jared Goff that money, I'm telling you right now, there's probably 15 teams that will. Okay? So kudos to the Lions. And I think that was a phenomenal deal on your part. Okay? Because when you got a franchise quarterback, you got to keep your franchise quarterback. All right? And then one last little note. Okay? The Panthers released Tariq Cohen. Most people are going to be like, why are you talking about this? Tariq Cohen has not been Tariq Cohen in like 3 years, but I just feel bad for Tariq Cohen, man. And I want him to succeed because if you've ever read his NFL Players Tribune article, dude, my man has had a rough life, okay? He really has. And he was about to get that bag. He was playing really well before injuries really derailed his career. And it just sucks. It sucks for him, man. I really wish that he would have panned out especially after reading his story. He's just a guy that I root for. So I hope that somebody picks him up. They probably won't, just being honest, but I hope that they do. And then also Cam Hayward of the Steelers, he's holding out right now. I think this is a tough situation, okay? Because if you look at Cam Hayward's stats and his production over the years, my man has been A1 defensive tackle. Like, my man brings that fire, okay? He is the heart of the Steelers defense, okay? He's the unsung hero, the guy nobody talks about that does a shit ton around the house, okay? He just does work, but he's getting up there in age. He's like 35 years old now, and although he's been extremely consistent, last year he was hurt for a lot of the year. His production went way down, so this is a situation worth monitoring because my man is probably trying to get that last bag. It's probably the last time that he's going to be able to pull out a good contract. So, hey, I don't blame him. You got to do it, man. And they kind of owe him. Like, if I was the Steelers, I'd feel like I have to give it to you. Like, I know you're going to decline, and at some point, this isn't going to be worth it. But also, like, I fucking love you. Like, what you've done for us over the years, it's must-see TV. So, I almost feel like he deserves a legacy contract. I'm just being honest. As a Steelers fan, I feel like he deserves a legacy contract, but it's going to be tough because Mike Tomlin, he runs a tight ship, and if you're not still in your prime and you're not running as fast as you used to run, you're not as strong as you used to be, just might not work out over there. But it's definitely a situation worth monitoring. I would expect him to still be a Steeler to start the season. I mean, he's a Steeler legend, so I feel like they're going to get it worked out, but definitely worth monitoring. All right, let's also talk about some fifth-year options because the decisions were made on those over the break where we were gone. It's been a while. Okay, you probably already know all this shit, but guess what? It's my show, and I run it how I want to, and can I also as well. So fifth-year options, all right? Let's just talk about the ones that were picked up first, all right? Kyle Pitts, fifth-year option picked up. Obviously, production hasn't been there that much, honestly, for the hype, but a lot of that is poor quarterback play and coaching. So that's a must pick up fifth option because you gotta make that work. Fourth overall pick. He hasn't been awful. We'll see what he does this year, but you got to lock that in. Jags pick up Trevor and Travis Etienne's fifth-year option. I would expect that the Jaguars probably get a contract done with Trevor Lawrence this offseason. We'll see what those numbers look like. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was very close to what Jared Goff got. And, I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm kind of willing to be okay with the contract, even though Trevor hasn't lived up to expectations just yet. I still believe in this man's talent, and I think that this is going to be the year that he puts it all together, okay? And also, listen, who are you going to get that's better, okay? That would be my argument. It's not like we're going to go out there and we're going to find a better option than Trevor Lawrence next offseason. It's not fucking happening. I mean, it is hard to get good quarterback play in this league, and we've at least seen it with Trevor Lawrence, okay? Maybe it hasn't been as consistent as we want it to be, but it's still been there, and we've seen him make spectacular throws, just play under pressure, and I feel like, honestly, he's had like Jaguar luck, I almost feel like, on a lot of plays, man. I really feel that way, but he stands strong. He's got that confidence, and I just really believe that he's going to put it all together. I mean, I feel like it's just a matter of time. Etienne, okay, we picked up the fifth-year option on Etienne. I'll say this. I think that Etienne's playing – if you look at the numbers, Etienne is playing great, okay? Like, honestly, his yards per carry weren't very great last year, but it was because of the offensive line. It was not him at all. Like, he is a good player, but I think what the Jags are going to do, and I'm sorry, but it just makes sense in this running back world that we live in. I think we're going to pick up this fifth-year option. We're going to let him play on it. Then we're going to franchise tag him if he's still playing really well. And then if he's still playing really well, we're just going to do it one more time. One more time. And that's what's 7 years. Bye. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your services. Like, I really think that's how it goes down because that's just how it is with running backs these days, man. I mean, you're just – unless you got a Derrick Henry or like a Christian, it needs to be like – and Etienne is a very good player. And maybe once we get this offensive line situation sorted, hopefully, I pray, then maybe I change my opinion and I'm like, this is a next level, crown him running back. But right now, he's just a really good running back to me. He's just a really good running back. And with really good running backs in this league, you just use them, you abuse them, and you let them go. I'm sorry. I love you, but that's just the way it is. Vikings pick up Christian Darrisaw's 5th-year option. That dude has been balling. Dolphins pick up 5th-year option on Jalen Waddle and Jalen Phillips. That makes a lot of sense. Bills pick up 5th-year option on Greg Russo. Browns pick up 5th-year option on Greg Newsome. And Colts pick up Kwity Paye's 5th-year option. And then we also have a small group of them. Let me just share that were not picked up. And we'll just take a quick little look at this. Yeah, this one right here. 5th-year options that were declined. Some of these are going to make a lot of sense. Zach Wilson, duh. Trey Lance, duh. Justin Fields, I figured probably, but I thought there was a long shot. Maybe they would pick it up. But, I mean, they still have the franchise tag, so you still have team control. It's really not that big of a deal. Mac Jones obviously declined. Xavier Collins, really can't tell you much about Xavier Collins, but obviously not working out there. Kadarius Toney makes a lot of sense. I don't even know who Jamin Davis is. Do you know who that guy is?
Who?
Jamin Davis. I don't know.
Never heard him before.
I mean, it's just crazy how you can forget who these dudes are because these are all first-round picks, obviously, having the 5th-year option. Caleb Farley, I know him. He was a corner from Virginia Tech for the Titans. His was declined. This one I was a little surprised. Najee Harris. I know he's been disappointing, but he has had 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons, and I kind of thought they would just do it because they're the Steelers and he's Najee Harris. But they declined his. So,
horrible tape. Don't listen to this, man.
I mean, dude, don't get me wrong. Like, I think
dude, Jalen so trash.
I mean, I think Jalen Warren's better than him, but I just think like because of the potential, I just thought they'd pick it up. I just thought they'd pick it up, but and it's not that much. It's like $7 million. So it's not like it's 15 million, 20 million a year. It's 7 million.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, didn't Swift just get something around? You know what I mean? Like something super low than a 4. Like even though it was a higher contract, like dude, I'd rather have DeAndre Swift than freaking Najee Harris. Like,
I just think but he probably had more years on his contract. Like this was a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's 1 year, $7 million.
I know. I get what you're saying, but dude, after watching like Najee play football, dude, like he looks like he's hit a wall too.
But they said he's taking his diet very seriously this offseason.
Yeah, that would make me more likely not to freaking pay you. Because what? Now you're gonna start eating right, fat boy? Come on now, like, dude, give me a freaking break.
Come on, he's not fat. He just,
you know what I'm saying.
He doesn't have any vision. Okay, he just doesn't have any vision.
I'm sorry, but you should always be on your game with your diet when you're a professional athlete. Like that shouldn't have been. Oh, now I'm gonna start eating right. Like, nah, dude, come on now. Dude,
he's doing his best. Okay, get off his freaking back. All right, he's doing his best. Okay, whatever. All right, fine. Maybe you're right. Maybe they shouldn't have. But I just thought they'd give him another freaking chance. All right, you got Arthur Smith, a new guy that loves to run the freaking ball with more than one back. So you know he's not just going to give it to Jalen Warren because that's not his style. He doesn't give a shit if you're the 7th overall pick or a new shiny toy. He's still doing what he wants to do. All right, let's just move on, though. Let's just move on because obviously agree to disagree there. Jason Kelce. My man is like just the Kelce's with Taylor Swift and like their personalities, they are just going to another level. I'm pretty sure New Heights podcast is like one of the most downloaded podcasts. Now Jason Kelce retires. Obviously, he had the bawling his eyes out retirement speech. He had his own show, documentary on Amazon. It's pretty good. I think it's just called Kelce, but it was really good. And now he's joining Monday Night Football. And it actually ended up getting RG3 booted out of there. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's a good trade. That's a real good trade. I just can't fight it, okay? I used to like RG3, but I don't know, man. He just kind of wore out. He just got worn out on his, like, antics and, like, his silliness instead of just, like, being about ball sometimes. I just got tired of it. And Jason Kelce is just such a lovable character, such a funny guy, perfect dude to put on TV. So we'll see how he blends with the crew. I really don't even know who's on the pregame show over there now, because at one point it was Scott Van Pelt. Last year, I'm pretty sure it was Scott Van Pelt and Ryan Clark and somebody else too. But they've kind of switched it up in and out, so it'll be interesting to see who it is. But Jason Kelce, great way to add that in there. So excited about that. I feel like we just talked about Justin Fields not how long ago with his 5th-year option, but going back to Justin Fields, there was I believe it actually talking about the running backs. I believe it was Jaylen Warren that said it to the media that they're talking about Justin Fields potentially returning kicks in Pittsburgh. Let me just start by saying, if I was Justin Fields, I'd find that so fucking disrespectful to ask me, your backup quarterback, to return punts for you? You think I'm Taysom Hill? What do you think this is, dude? Now, granted, he'd probably be pretty fucking good at it. But also, bro, you're going to risk me getting hurt out here? I might potentially be able to be your starting quarterback. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a shit what they say. Justin Fields is not going to end up returning kicks in Pittsburgh. I don't care what the special teams coordinator is talking about. There's no way that Mike Tomlin would let that happen.
I completely agree with you, man. And I feel like it almost is one of those things I'm like, if Russell Wilson's can't call and be like, can you just make an announcement that makes it really seem like Russell's got the job? Because he needs a confidence boost. Because, that's the type of motherfucker Russell is. I don't know. I feel like it could be something along those lines, and someone's, it's like you said, the quarterback in today's game is so freaking fragile that, they got to have all this glory all the time. Otherwise, oh no, poor me. But yeah, dude, I don't know. That would be funny to learn later on if we came out of Russell Wilson's camp.
Yeah, no, it would be. And they've already announced that Russell Wilson's got the job, so there's really no point in doing that. But I wouldn't be surprised with the way Russell is if he just needed that kind of extra affirmation.
Hey, man, I won a Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, kind of crazy. You know what I was thinking about? When I was joking around, I said Patrick Mahomes will never win a Super Bowl again, which we're not going to get into that. It was just a joke. But I was thinking about when Russell Wilson was early in his career and he went to back-to-back Super Bowls and obviously won the first one, lost the second one. But in that offseason, if you would have said Russell Wilson will never make it back to a Super Bowl again, I feel like a lot of people would have been like, no way, dude, he's definitely going to be back. And it really shows you how hard it is. Obviously, he's not, I don't want to he was not on Patrick Mahomes' level, but he was still a really good quarterback at that time. And he was wow, this dude is dude, we were talking about him for Hall of Fame at one point. Now it's I mean, I guess you won one Super Bowl, but Hall of Fame? But he can still do it, but it's kind of borderline now. You didn't think it was borderline, but that's me getting off track. That wasn't even supposed to be a topic. Let's get back on the agenda here. All right, Rashee Rice, my man, I don't know what his fucking problem is, to be honest with you. Listen, you have the easiest life in the world, okay? You went to the best situation. You went to the fucking Chiefs. You won the Super Bowl in your first year. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is your fucking quarterback. You could fucking eat Cheetos the entire offseason, show up 3 weeks before training camp, start working out, catch some balls with Patrick Mahomes, just still probably go for 800 yards, still make $15 million a year. But no, you know what? We're going to race our Lamborghinis, wreck it, okay, ditch the scene. Then on top of all that, okay, you start owning up to it. You're doing your shit. Okay, whatever. You make one mistake. Fine, I get it. You think after that you'd sit at home and be like, hey, I can't be fucking up, okay? I played with the fucking Chiefs. I just won a Super Bowl, all right? I'm on the best team. But you know what? You decide you're going to go out. You're going to smack the photographer in the face. There was already reports before this that you were going to end up getting suspended half a season for the car shit. And now this happens. Dude, the way the Chiefs operate, if you keep fucking around, they might cut your ass, bro. They really might. They did it with Kareem Hunt. I know it was a little bit different of a situation, but at the same time, the Chiefs don't play that bullshit. You're not Tyreek Hill. They put up with that shit with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is a potential 2,000-yard receiver. You're not that, my friend. You're a second-year player that's a product of Patrick Mahomes. Get your fucking head on straight, bro, because you have the best life. You know how many receivers that got drafted to shit teams? Fucking wish they were you.
Yeah, right.
They daydream about it all day long. So just get your shit together, man. That's all I got to say about it. All right, man, let's get to some exciting breaking news. Some shit we just didn't see coming. Caleb Williams announces QB1 in Chicago. Yeah. For some reason, we had to announce that. We had to ask if the first overall pick in the draft was going to be starting this year. What a stupid question. What a dumb thing to ask a coach. I know that Matt Eberflus hasn't been the best, but he's not Urban Meyer level. We're not having a QB battle with Gardner Minshew and Trevor Lawrence. We're just not doing that. So, all right, some other drama. Okay, Shador Sanders. All right, this is kind of old now, but I still want to talk about it because it's funny. So on the left side of the screen, all right, is basically a story of a corner that was at Colorado. I think he's a corner, but he was at Colorado before Deion Sanders got there. Obviously, the stories came out when Deion Sanders got there about the high turnover. He was telling kids you should leave. There's one kid that played corner there, told you should leave. Guys like, nah, I think I'm going to stay. And then Deion Sanders gave him no attention, no playing time. And he basically complained about it. You know where he ended up transferring to? Austin P, which is kind of funny. But, yeah, Austin P in Tennessee. And then Shador Sanders, because he basically said that Deion did not even give him the time of day, and he just felt like disrespected, like a background player, didn't even give him a chance kind of thing. And then Shador was like, I don't even remember him, to be honest, had to be very mid at best. And then after that, Coach Prime chimes in because somebody told him that he should tell his son to be more respectful or something like that. And he's like, just talking shit. Now we got both the Sanders talking shit about he's going to be a top 5 pick. So where's your son? I'm going to be honest with you. I do feel like this is like questionable behavior from somebody that is supposed to be like the top dog at quarterback. Like, why are you even paying attention to these things? I know it's your dad, and I know that like kind of brings a personal level to it, but like also, don't you kind of feel like with you being a leader, like you should know who this guy is? Like you should know who your teammates are. I mean, it's kind of weird that you don't know who he is. And I see you like riding around with like these like $1 million cars or something. I don't know. I feel like, and also after this happened, his draft odds from being the first overall pick dropped by like over double. So obviously Vegas agrees that they don't think that is great behavior on his part. If he played a different position, I'd be like, who cares? If he played like cornerback, I'd be like, whatever, talk shit. That's what they fucking do. But I mean, being a quarterback and like talking shit about somebody that was your own teammate, I just feel like it's not a good look. Just my opinion about it. But still will probably end up being the first quarterback taken off of the board in this draft, just because obviously it's not like a thick draft with quarterbacks. But regardless, I just think it's something to think about, Shador. Okay. Speaking of drama and beefs, have you heard about this Marvin Harrison Jr. and Fanatics beef? Yeah. So basically, when he was drafted, he still did not sign his NFL PA agreement, which is basically how they can sell your jersey and how you can end up how you're on Madden and all that fun jazz. Yeah. And he didn't sign it because he had some beef with Fanatics because he felt like they like ripped people off, basically like rookies because or like college players, because with the NIL deal, they'd have them sign multiple year contracts when they'll be in the NFL and they'll be worth more, basically. And then I took this off of the docket because eventually he ended up signing the NFLPA agreement. It sounded like him and Fanatics had worked it out and they were all good. But then today, right before we start the show, I get another update and it says that Fanatics is filing a lawsuit against Marvin Harrison Jr. And then Marvin Harrison Jr.'s team states that that they have no contract with them. The lawsuit states that the two sides signed an agreement dating back in May worth more than $1 million. So I have no idea what's going to happen there, but it's a real weird situation. So if we end up not being able to buy his jersey or he ends up not being in Madden, that's why. They said he signed the NFLPA agreement, and I think that has something to do with Fanatics in there with the jersey sales. But, yeah, obviously that beef rolls on. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Obviously, he'll still be playing football, so it's just kind of back end stuff, but kind of interesting there. And then the schedule release came out last week, or was that 2 days ago? No, last Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday. First of all, as a Jaguars fan, let me say, I think it's really weird that we have no Thursday night football game. I thought that was like something they gave everybody one, but apparently not. We didn't get one of those. We did get a Monday night and a Sunday night. But you know what's really disappointing? And I didn't notice the first day when I looked at the schedule, but then like another day, somebody asked me which games I wanted to go to, and I was like, the night games. And then I looked, and we are away for both of the night games. Do you know how sad that made me? We only have 1 p.m. starts at home if you want to go to a home game. Just 1 p.m. No nighties. No nighties. Couldn't even give us a Thursday nighter at home. Thanks for that, NFL. Thanks for that. I understand that we got, I think, 3 night games No, 2 home night games last year. I went to the other one in New Orleans, but we had 2 home night games last year. But damn, you couldn't give us 1? Like, shit, man. So disappointing there. Whatever. All right. For us, it didn't matter. I will say, the schedule release videos, there was a couple of good ones. Jags had the X-Men 97 theme one, which was okay. Not even close to what they put out last year. Last year, I'm sorry, that one's untouchable. If you don't remember, the Jaguars did one about basically the NFL script, and like they were like writing the script for the Jaguars, and freaking hilarious. It's worth YouTubing. Every second of it, you will like piss your pants crying laughing. Like it was a home run. And honestly, didn't get enough recognition from national media. I was actually really pissed. They gave the Titans one all the love. And like the Titans one was funny, but it wasn't even close to what the Jags put out. This year, the Chargers put out some good ones. There's a couple of good ones, but yeah. You got any thoughts on schedule release this year or no? You good?
No, I mean, for Niners, I looked through it again today. I mean, just like the going into the bye, it's going to be difficult because but at least we have both the harder teams at home. At least in my opinion, the toughest teams is Chiefs and then Cowboys back to back. I think it's like weeks 6 and 7 or somewhere around there. That's going to be like a tough little 2-game stretch before you hit the bye, but it could be like one of those good things. Like, okay, let's say we drop one, then we have the bye to kind of regroup and regather. But we got a few good matchups. I mean, we just honestly like I hate looking at the schedule because I'm like, well, this is only cool if everyone's healthy. You know what I mean? Like, cause like it's football. So I mean, someone's not.
I mean, but I feel like it is important because order matters. Like when you play teams, matters, and like the way you're doing your home roads. Like you don't want to end the season playing like 5 juggernauts in a row. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
The Jags open up with like 4 really good teams, but overall, I can't really complain about it. I will say I feel like the Jags get a real advantage with this, but we always have the extra London game because we do 1 home London game and then 1 away London game. And I'm like, yeah, that's a sweet stack. And it's 9:30 for both. So it's just like perfect as a Jags fan. Some Jags fans don't like it. I really don't get it. I don't understand how you can be upset about losing a away game to London. Like, come on, man. It's like an extra advantage for us there. So, yeah. But one last thing with the schedule that I find interesting. One, I love the Christmas games. It's on a Wednesday, which is really interesting. We got 2 Christmas games. Annoying that they put them on Netflix. Okay, another fucking streaming service that we're spreading these games out to. That I saw a post about like if you needed Sunday ticket, basically like to watch your team and like how much it would cost to watch every game, and it was like $800 something for the season because you got to have your YouTube TV, you got to have the Sunday ticket, Peacock, ESPN Plus, and now Netflix, like just a ton of different shit. Listen, I got the Kodi app, okay? I got Stream East on my side, all right? So I'm not buying into this shit. I don't care hey, come get me. I'm stealing it, okay? Bust down my door. I don't care. I'm not paying for it. I'm not doing it. You got enough money, okay? You don't need any more from me. Another interesting thing before we move on, the NFL schedule makers and Roger Goodell have already hinted that they want to expand the NFL season, want to get rid of preseason, make it an 18-week schedule with 2 bye weeks, which I think that is a extremely fair trade-off. I mean, 2 bye weeks makes a lot of sense for that situation. And then you're pushing Super Bowl. You can line it up so that it's right with President's Day so that the bulk of everybody's off on that Monday. I think it works out perfect. We'll see how it happens. It's going to take a few years, obviously. And they always got to re-ask for more things. But I think that does get done.
Okay, but dude, think about this, though. Look how fast they've gone from 16 to 8. Or like, I feel like that's too quick. Like
Money talks. Money talks, baby. I love it. I mean, I don't care, honestly. And honestly, another reason, I hate this 17-game schedule. It's ugly. It's ugly that you can't break to 500. What other sport is it not an even number? Like, is that not weird? And then you have either one extra home game or one extra away game. Like, I find that weird. Like, I just don't like it.
Well, that's also it's not really fair in my opinion. Like it's
just unpleasing to the eyes for me. Unpleasing to the eyes.
No, it's not. It's truly not fair because if you get one extra away game, that's a disadvantage to your team.
Yeah. I mean, that's true too. I do agree with that. But even beyond that, it just looks stupid, and I just hate looking at it. It needs to stay an even number, so I am going to be all for that.
I agree with you. I'm kind of down for the 18 game. Like, I don't want to say because I'm sure they're not down. Like the players are probably like, dude.
But I mean, I honestly feel like if I was a player, I'd prefer it because you get. I mean, I guess it depends on who you are too, right? Because if you're a back end roster guy, you probably want the preseason because that's more time you're playing. That's more time to prove yourself versus like if you're a player that's established, you probably hate the preseason. It's a waste of time. But also. The fact that you get a second bye week, that gives you a different week to recover from injury, rest your body. Like, I almost feel like the one extra game is worth the extra bye.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. I mean, if we're getting rid of preseason, that's the only way 18 games works, in my opinion. It's like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Because they should be ready to go. Let's be real. Like, they do plenty of training, and, dude, they can scrimmage each other beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, do your own little bullshit on the side of playing each other in helmets and shit. Like, we don't want to watch that shit. Give us the real games.
No, I agree. But let's move on. We've got a few more topics to get into before we get out of here. All right. So the Jags
might lose me soon.
Yeah, no, we're going to get through it. The Jags stadium deal. All right. It got approved with the mayor and the team. So I am fucking pumped for that. We just need the city council. Okay. I don't even think they need 50%. It's like 40% or something. But that has to go through, and then the NFL owners have to approve it. The split is 55% the city, 45% the team, which the NFL is not going to approve a 50-50 split, so that's why they did the 55-45. I'm pumped about it. Listen, I don't give a fuck what it costs. I want to keep the Jaguars here. It doesn't fucking matter, okay? This is the one awesome thing we have here. Don't fuck this up, okay? Don't fuck this up. All right, just get it done. Just get it done. All right.
And I feel
I really have to say about it. Nothing's really official with it.
I feel like you guys would be so jumping the second you become a winning football team, like because your city's fucking huge. Like you guys have the people.
Well, dude, you'd be surprised how many people complain about it, but it's because they're not football fans and they're stupid. That's another thing that annoys me. Like because listen, like this is their argument. This is what they'll always say. They don't want to put the money in the set. They'll talk about the schools. They'll talk about the parks around town. I'm like, I don't give a shit about those things. Okay, first of all, and then even beyond that, or even if I was somebody that cared about that, beyond that, they'll be like, well, Colin's a billionaire. Why can't he pay for it? I'm like, bitch, he doesn't own the stadium. Like, if I rent a house, the fucking owner isn't going to expect me to repair your house for you. That's stupid. Like, he's renting it. And if that's the case, fine, sell him the stadium because there's other NFL owners that do own the stadium and the property and they do what they want on it. But I tell you what, don't bitch when we're not getting any money from Florida, Georgia because we don't own the stadium anymore because you're a fucking idiot. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to make it political, but also I just feel like some people are so fucking stupid. Like it's one thing to not want it. It's another thing to bring up dumb shit. Like why can't Con pay for it? He's a billionaire because you obviously don't know how the world works. You idiot. You think he'd be a billionaire if he was just giving out fucking $500 million to something that he doesn't own? Yeah, he'd be pretty fucking stupid, I'd say. Okay, probably wouldn't be a billionaire if that was the case. All right.
Hey, real quick, did you see when the ETA would be like for you guys to be done with your upgrades or whatever?
They're hoping 1 year, and then like we'd be like playing. I think they're saying Gainesville is the most likely possibility, but they also said Daytona. But then I heard somebody say Daytona's out, so I don't know. We'll see. But that's just the most important thing to me: keeping the Jaguars here. Okay, everything else is secondary. Get that shit done. All right. Because I tell you what, if the Jaguars left, I don't know what I'd probably fucking leave. I'd be so pissed. Probably wouldn't even want to live here anymore. All right, let's move on. We got just a couple more topics. We're going to be able to get through this, and we're going to get you on your time clock here. Okay, one thing that was freaking hilarious to happen while we were gone. Okay, the Tom Brady roast on Netflix. Oh my God, I knew it'd be funny. Like you got comedians, it's almost always going to be funny, but it was hilarious. And there were no hold bars. The only thing that was off limits was Robert Kraft, which Tom Brady got pissed at Jeff Rossi for making a Kraft joke, and that was why, because they already agreed that was off limits. But let me tell you, Nikki Glazer killed her set. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, because it is 3 hours, there was only one duo that sucked ass. Everybody else was really good. The Gronk jokes were hilarious, the way they were making fun of how stupid he is. But Nikki Glazer basically destroyed everybody around her. Like, I had no idea who this chick was. Her set was freaking perfect. Okay, so funny. So funny that I went and watched her other stuff, and let me tell you, it wasn't even close to how funny her roast was. It wasn't that good. I was disappointed. But the roast, money, dude. She killed everybody that she touched, basically. If you were in her joke, her sleeve of jokes, you were getting murdered that night. And she murdered all of them. She won the roast in my hand. If you pick one person who won the roast, Nikki Glazer by far. Then another thing with Tom Brady, since we're talking about him, he went on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and Channing something from Miami Dolphins linebacker. But Fred Taylor basically asked him about that 2017 game where the Jags were in the AFC Championship game. We end up losing to Tom Brady. Miles Jack strips, I believe it was it wasn't James White. I think it was, I don't know, one of their little scat backs. He stripped him, took the ball, didn't get touched, got up, he was about to run down the field, freaking ref blows it dead. He was going for a touchdown. Tom Brady basically said, like, he asked him about it, dummy. He's like, yeah, I don't think he was down, and we weren't catching him. So if you wanted any more salt in that wound, Jaguars fans, about that year that we were supposed to go to the Super Bowl and the rest fucked us for the Patriots, which, by the way, third time in my lifetime where we've lost to the Patriots in the playoffs. So, and Tom Brady specifically. So fuck you, guy. He also, with the roast, he ended up saying he regrets it because of the impact it had on his children. Because let me tell you, they came for his marriage, okay? And you know who else? Second place in the roast, okay? Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe killed it, man. His jokes, oh my God. You could tell there's part of him that doesn't like Tom Brady because of what happened. You can kind of tell because those jokes, they were real. Like, they were real. I'm sure Tom Brady was not hanging out with some of those people after the roast, but he did say the impact that it had on his kids. He would not ever do something like that again. Let me tell you, Tom, boo fucking who, pal. Okay, you rich bastard. All right. Last thing here, okay? NFL power rankings that came out recently. And I know I've been kind of like on my Jags. We got 2 minutes here. So we're just going to talk about one thing on these power rankings, okay? How in the fuck do we got the Jaguars at 26? Okay, I'm not saying we're Super Bowl contenders, but look at these teams they have us behind. The fucking Raiders, okay? I understand they got a little hot last year, but guys, they have no quarterback, okay? They got Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. Like, that's just disrespectful. The Patriots, the Commanders, dude, come on, man. Like, who made these rankings? Is this a joke right now? Like, what is your problem? What did we do to you? You just hate us? Jesus Christ. It just doesn't make sense. I just honestly, in my heart of hearts, even trying to be objective, how can you say the Patriots are better than us? I don't know. I just don't have it in me.
You guys are basically the Oakland A's of the NFL. Like,
we spend money, okay? The A's are cheap. We'll spend money. We just haven't been good.
I know. I'm just saying, like, as far as like just comparisons on like popularity and talking, like, ignored by the media and just treated poorly in the media, like, y'all just get hated on.
I know, dude. People just love dunking on us. It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, bro. Like, there was some vendetta in those rankings. There's no way you legitimately think that.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
this is stupid. All right, we've got less than 30 seconds here. One last thing I just want to mention. It's not even a topic on here. It's just funny to me.
I mean, Amazon Prime. I'm just gonna get off.
Huh?
I said you can keep going. I'm just gonna get off.
No, fuck no. I'm not doing this by myself. Amazon Prime has approved a documentary, The Chiefsaholic, A Wolf in Chiefs Clothing, a true crime documentary chronicling the story of Xavier Babudgar, the Chiefs superfan who was a bank robber on the run. What are we doing here? We're giving a bank robber money just rewarding him for this shit. Just crazy. I'm gonna watch. Okay, I'm gonna watch, but I just don't know why we're approving shit like this. All right. On that note, we are out of here. We are at the 55-minute mark. Thank you, Knipe, for coming and hanging out on the show. We're gonna get out of here. We will catch you next week. I'm gonna stop falling asleep on my Saturdays, and we're gonna make sure that we make this happen and keep this going. All right, y'all. Peace out.